non-physically attractive. Old women in bathing suits, and skin diseases, and cripples, doss house-looking men who spit, and have hair growing out of their ears. No good. I just can't look at them. I know Freddie's right about Hitler, and of course that's horrid. Still, I can't help sympathising with Brian. Can you? I don't mean the way he described. I think it should be done by the state. And so should charity. Then we might have an end of all those hideous dolls in shop doorways with irons on their legs. Freddie won't hear of it, of course. But then he loves a lame dog. Every year he buys so many tickets for the spastic raffle, he wins the TV set. And every year he gives it to an old folks' home. He used to try taking me along on his visits, but I said it wasn't me at all, and he gave up. One place we went, there were these poor freaks with, oh, you know, sort of enormous heads and so on. And you just feel, ugh. Put them out of their misery! Well, they wouldn't have survived in nature. It's only modern medicine. So modern medicine should be allowed to do away with them. A committee of doctors and do-gooders, naturally, to make sure there's no funny business, and then, you see, if I say gas chamber, it makes it sound horrid. But I do mean put to sleep. When Freddie gets all mealy-mouthed about it, I say, look, darling, if one of our kids was dying and they had a cure, but you knew it had been discovered in the Nazi laboratories, would you refuse to let them use it? I certainly wouldn't. I love my own immediate family, and that's the lot. I can't manage anymore. I want to go home and see them again. They may not be the most hard-working, well-behaved geniuses on earth, but no one in their right mind could say they were NPA. Freddie, I'm going. You can get a taxi and I'll take the...
Oh, no, the carols have stopped.
They've stopped, yes.
Is this little Josephine?
This is Joe. Now, you say hello to Uncle Freddie.
Hello, Joe.
Yeah?
What do you know?
Not much, I'm afraid. And Auntie Pamela.
She's got really a rather pretty face, hasn't she?
She's ever so PLU, once you get to know her.
I'm lovely, she says.
She's strangely passive tonight. You didn't forget her medicine.
You'd be strangely passive, she says, if you've been fitting and crying and doing...
Her eyes are hardly open.
Who wants to open their eyes in the middle of the night, she says, and 1 hour before midnight's worth 2 after, she says.
You miss the carols, darling. What a shame.
Christmas already, she says. Seems to come round quicker every year. No crib for a bed, the little Lord Jesus laid down his sweet head. The stars in the bright sky looked down where he lay. The little Lord Jesus asleep on the hay. The cattle...
No, stand here.
What is it?
A fit. I'm sorry, I thought she was too far gone for that.
There's nothing we can do.
One day when you're doing that, the wind will change and you'll stay like it.
Do you think she needs the doctor?
She should be in bed. I'll take
Well,
her
what
up.
good is that? She's nearly unconscious.
What good is she doing down here? That'll be the carol singers. I'll say we're Muslims.
Give them a shilling from Joe. I love the old customs, she says.
Yep. From Joe.
We must be off.
Oh, I had no idea she was so torpid. One thinks of a Mongol or an Athatoid or monoplegic. Well, she really is so helpless.
She's worse than usual, aren't you, Blossom?
It's my mother.
Hello. How nice to see
I'm
you.
not stopping, Sheila. Oh, you didn't say you had company.
Mr. and Mrs. Underwood, my mother.
We were just going.
How'd you do?
No, I'm not stopping. Only I've just been in town and thought I'd drop in Josephine's new cardie. No, well, I wouldn't have dropped in, not in the ordinary way, especially when they had company. Only on Tuesday, Mrs. Parry and I make a habit of meeting for the pictures, if there's anything nice. Well, after you've been round with a duster, there's nothing much to fill in the afternoons, and no one wants to sit around like a nun. And don't laugh, will you? But they reduce the prices for old age pensioners. Well, when you're trying to manage on so little, a few shillings is a consideration. Anyway, last week Mrs. Parry rang to say she couldn't see me Tuesday. That was on the Thursday. Or was it Friday? As she had to stay in for a vacuum. I said, but surely to goodness a vacuum can come in the morning or any other afternoon. It doesn't have to be the very day we go out. She said, my dear, nowadays if you're told to expect a vacuum Tuesday, there's very little you can say to stop it. So I said, well, all right, I'll do some last-minute Christmas shopping in the afternoon and meet you in the Odeon Cafe, about 4:30? And we can see Julie Andrews in the evening. Well, then over the weekend, I finished the cardigan I'd been knitting Josephine. Well, knitting passes the time, and if you didn't have some diversion, you'd sit around like a blooming nun. No company, no one to talk to or have a cup of tea with. I don't encourage neighbours. One thing can so easily lead to another with neighbours. You find them taking advantage. So it is very lonely hour after hour, stuck like Joe Egg with no one to talk to. Why I do so many cardigans, the poor mite dribbles. Not in the way a baby dribbles even, it's worse than that. It's not nice to talk about, I know, but she can't seem to regulate the flow. Her garments after a few hours on, they're stiff with saliva. And I've said to Sheila often enough she should wear a plastic bib. It would be such a saving on wool. But of course you can't say a lot, can you? That's being an interfering mother-in-law. I do believe if I said, Sheila, whatever you do, don't dress her in plastic bibs, that poor mite would be stuck in a plastic bib morning, noon and night, like a blooming nun. And when we came out of the Odeon, I thought I'll go so far on Mrs. Parry's bus and drop in my granddaughter's cardigan, and perhaps if Brian's not too busy, he could run me home.
Yeah, right.
So I'm not stopping. And how's Nana's favourite girl tonight? Look what Nana's brought her. I'm fast asleep, she says.
She's poorly. She's very poorly.
Having 40 winks, she says.
She's all right.
1 hour before midnight's worth 2 after.
That's what they say.
Let's see how it fits, shall we? Wouldn't she be lovely if she was running about?
A beautiful child.
First time you've seen her.
That's why I brought her down.
Well, do you think the sleeves are short, Sheila?
It's just her arms are so bent.
You must allow for that, yes.
Yes.
I fancy a half-inch longer.
Would you bother?
No bother. Got to do what little we can, haven't we?
Oh, yes, exactly.
You should have seen the shops this afternoon. I said to the lady in Scotch wool and hosiery, you'll be glad when Christmas is over.
What did she say to that?
She said, I certainly shall. But apart from the rush, I said to Mrs. Parry, it does look nice. The decorations and the toys and birds and toilet sets.
See Jesus?
Pardon?
Did you see